Hello students, welcome back to your science class. So students, in the previous class, we had completed the chapter that is reproduction. In that chapter students, we have seen that what are the different modes of reproductions, and that is sexual and asexual. Mode of reproduction is there. Sexual, in which both of the parents are involved in giving birth to the young one, and asexual, in which only one parent is there which produces the own type of a species. Asexual reproduction also occur by different method, and in which we had seen budding, we have seen binary fission, as well as there are a lot more students, but here we have to see only two, that is budding and binary fission. Then we came to sexual reproduction. We have understood what are the different gamete cells. Gamete cells varies from the male to female. Female are having female gamete cell. Male, they are having male gamete cell. Then fertilization happen between the gametes. And what is that? That is fusion of the gamete cells together, that which resultant into the formation of a zygote. That is called as fertilization. Fertilization also varies. Fertilization can be external, it can be internal fertilization. External fertilization, in which actually the fertilization occurs outside the body, that is called external fertilization. Internal fertilization is that in which the gamete, the fusion of the male and the female gamete occur inside the female body. Then comes the development of embryos. When the zygote is formed, this zygote divides and the formation of an embryo occurs. Then the cell get differentiated, and due to which the different organs are formed, and these different organs leads to the formation of a fetus, and the fetus again becomes a newborn baby, means after a gestation period, after the complete development, it will came out, it will get delivered by the out from the female body, and that we call as an infant. Okay, so this is how the process of reproduction actually take place. We have seen that there are some of the animals which are actually different when they were at the young phase, when they are at the developing phase, to an adult one. Like in case of a frog students, when you look at the frog used to give egg, and then the formation of a zygote happens. What happened afterward? This will get, means from the eggshell you will find that the young one which came out, that is called as a tadpole, and tadpole is very similar to a fish rather than it look like a frog, because it is having a tail, students. Okay, afterward, so the tadpole is very different from the adult frog, and same thing you will find in case of a butterfly also. The cocoon actually after when the egg hatches, and then the larva came out, and the larva with the help of its saliva start forming a shell around it. Actually that is a kind of a thread and due to which it turns into another one, that is called as cocoon, and from the cocoon the butterfly came out. So you will find that here the young one is different from the adult, a well-developed adult organism, and this happens, means the conversion of such kind of a young one into the adulthood happens because of a hormone that is called as a thyroxine hormone, and this process is called as a metamorphosis. So we have seen the life cycle of a butterfly as well as a life cycle of a frog, students. Now we have understood the chapter reproduction. We have understood that how the reproductive organs are there in case of a male and female, and how it makes a male differ from that of a female. Now is when we are saying that yes, we all are having our own reproductive organ, means that is different from the gender. So here the development of this reproductive system, when they become active, so they become active at a particular age. Okay, these organs are already there in our body, but they are not in an active state when they will become active, they become active when we reaches to a certain age, and that age is called as a adolescence age. I hope you all are very well aware of this term, that many times people used to say that teenager or adolescence. Actually, this is the phase when there is a lot of a fluctuation of emotions occur in a child. Okay, so in the next chapter, that is reaching the age of adolescence, we will going to learn about what is adolescence, what happens in the adolescence phase, what is a teenager, what are the different changes occur in our body which make us differ from a child to a man or to a woman. How this difference, how the body get changes during this phase because of a gland, because of a hormone. So we are going to understand that what is gland, what are the different hormones who are responsible for giving the changes, for coordinating with our body, or just control the activities that happen in our body, students. Okay, so next chapter is reaching the age of adolescence. Now you see here, when I said that when the zygote formation happened, then from the zygote the formation of an embryo occur. Now this embryo will get divided and finally formation of a fetus, and from fetus then the infant. Infant means when the child came out, we will say that is in the infant stage, means from 1 to 5-4. After that it will be childhood stage, and then comes another phase which is called as adolescence phase. Okay, so between childhood and between adulthood, see, when you are a teenager, after that when you start means even up with the age you will become an adult person. So between the adulthood, between the childhood, there is a phase, and that is called as adolescence phase. Okay, so we can write here that during the each stage, when we say yes, each stage, that is childhood to adulthood, childhood to adulthood, body undergoes a lot of changes, and these changes can be physical, as well as emotional. Okay, so during each stage, childhood to adulthood body, it undergoes a lot of changes, and that changes can be physical, student, it can be emotional also. Okay, and the changes occur, these various changes occurs due to the system, that is system of glands, called hormones, that is called as hormones. So the changes which occur in the body basically occurs due to the hormones. Now let us try to understand that what is a hormone. Okay. Hormone Hormones are what, student? These are actually a chemical substances which is produced in the body at a certain time to time, in order to control the activities which occur in the body. Okay. So these are the chemical substances. These are the chemical substances which is produced in the body that control and regulate the activities of certain cells or organs. So what are hormones? Hormones are nothing but they are the chemical substances, and these chemical substances, it is produced in the body in order to control. You know, students, whenever we talk about the controlling and coordinating, you will say that okay, it is our nerves which used to take the information to the brain. But yes, that is true. But not only the nerves are responsible, but even the hormones are there. The difference is that nerves used to carry the information in the form of electrical impulses, but here the hormones used to carry the information in a form of chemical substances. But yes, they also used to get the information, and according to that they used to release the chemical substances. These chemical substances reaches to the target area and where they work. So that is why I said that here it is a chemical substances which is produced in the body from the different glands. I'll tell you about the glands, what does that mean. That help in controlling as well as it help in regulating the activities. Activities of what? Of an organ. Activities of the cells of the organs. Okay, this is what? This is the hormones. Now the hormones, how they came from? We are saying that these hormones are produced in the body. So who is responsible for producing these hormones? So they are none other than glands. It is the glands only which used to release the different hormone. And yes, if the different hormones are there, so different glands are also there. Okay, so hormones are secreted in the body by special organs called glands. That is called as glands. So these hormones, it is released in the body by a special kind of organ that is called as a glands. Now these glands, they all together constitute a system, and that system is called as endocrine system, students. Although if we are talking about the glands itself, there are actually two type of a system is there. One is exocrine system and the other one is endocrine system. Okay, you know that, students, when we were discussing in case of a structural and functional unit of a cell, we have seen that there are the level of organization. It means the cells are there, which is the smallest and the basic unit. These cells, they combine together to form tissue. So tissue is nothing but a group of cells are there. Now the tissues, they combine together to form organs. So organs are nothing but they are a different kind of a tissues which combine together to form organ, and then organ system is there in which a different kind of organ, they combine together to form organ system. Okay. Now after that an organism is there. So organ system, it means a system which consisting of a different organ. I told you, like in case of a digestive system, like in case of a respiratory system, like in case of a circulatory system, blood vessels are there, arteries, veins are there, heart is there, even lungs are also attached with it. So these all are the different organs which constitute together a circulatory system. Same thing with the digestive system. It is our esophagus, then our stomach is there, then our gallbladder is there, then liver is also there, then intestine small and large is there. So these all are the different organs which constitute, which used to take part in the process of a digestion. And finally, we call them that since they coordinate with each other, they work together, so they are actually constituting a system, and that is why we call it as a digestive system. Since they help in the process of a digestion, that is why it is called as a digestive system. Same thing with the ear also. If we are saying that it is an endocrine system, so what is endocrine system? The different kind of a gland, because there are different kind of a hormones are there in our body. Some of the hormone is there which is responsible for the growth of the person, some of them responsible for when the person is in a fear or anxiety, some of them are there which help in providing immunity to you, some of them is there which help in maintaining the metabolism in the body, some of them there which in order to maintain it help in producing the giving the characteristics, sexual characteristic to a person. Okay, so these all are what? These all are the different glands which is located at a different position in the body, and they all used to secrete different kind of hormones, and the hormones are having the different function also. So different hormone, different function, and these hormones are coming from a kind of a gland, and these all glands differ from each other. Now these all glands together constitute a system, and that is called as an endocrine system. So glands are what? They are nothing than a special kind of a organ which used to secrete a chemical substance, that is called as a hormone, which help in controlling and regulating the organ of a body. Okay, so let us see what is endocrine system. So let us write about the endocrine system. What is endocrine system, students? So the endocrine system it consists of a large number of glands. Large number of glands that produces various hormones which regulate growth, sexual development, metabolism, and various other functions in the body. Okay, so the endocrine system is basically consists of a different kind of a gland, and these glands, they used to release the hormone, and they help in regulating the growth, they help in regulating the sexual development, metabolism, and other kind of work. They are responsible for controlling and regulating these activities also in our body, student. Now let us see that what are the different glands in the endocrine system. So the major glands are, I'm writing it here, the major glands are that make up the endocrine system are, these are pituitary gland, then pancreas, then adrenal, reproductive glands also, testes and ovaries. Testes and ovaries. These all are what? These all are the glands which constitute the system, that is endocrine system, students. Now, okay, so what is that? The first one is the pituitary gland, then pancreas is there, adrenal is there, testis is there, and ovary is also there. Now, let us start to study the different kind of glands one by one, including, first of all, we will start with the pituitary gland. Pituitary gland, students. It is supposed to be the most important gland of the body, okay, of an endocrine system. Why is it so? It is because it used to control or regulate all other glands present in the body. So you can understand here that whatever it used to stimulate the different kind of glands which is present in the body, and that is why it is the most important. And since it used to control or regulate the all other glands which is present in the body, that is why it works like what? It's like a master. Like a master, you is supposed to control and regulate all the student in the class. Like the same way here also, then the pituitary gland used to control, used to regulate or stimulate the other glands to start releasing or secrete the hormones. That is why it is most important, and it is also called as a master gland. Now one more thing, what is the location where it is present? So it is basically present in the in our brain. Okay, P-shaped structure is there, student, very small in size. It is a P-shaped size of a pituitary gland is present in the brain. So the first thing that we can write here about pituitary gland is, the first one is, it is the most important gland in our body, or of that of the endocrine system. Okay, it's very small, so it is a pea-sized shaped gland attached to the base of the brain. It is a pea-sized gland attached to the brain, to the base of the brain. to the base of the brain. Okay. Other thing I told you, it is also called as the master gland. So it is also known as master gland, also known as a master gland because it controls the growth and functioning of other endocrine glands. Okay, so pituitary gland is what? It is the most important gland. It is what? It is a pea-sized gland which is present at the brain. You will find, students, that there is another name. When you look at the endocrine system, do not get confused. It will be a hypothalamus kind of a gland is also present. Yes, hypothalamus is also present in the brain, and it used to give information to the pituitary gland, and pituitary gland used to work accordingly. Okay, but the thing that we have to study in the chapter, it is limited to pituitary gland. When you will go to the higher section, you will also came to know that there is a hypothalamus which used to stimulate or which used to regulate the function of a pituitary gland. Till that, you must know that it is the pituitary gland which used to control the growth and the functioning of all the different kind of glands present in the body or part of the endocrine system. That is why it is also called as a master gland. Okay, called as a master gland. So this is about the pituitary gland, student. Now we have understood what is the location, we have understood what kind of a size it is there, size of pituitary gland, but we must know that what are the different kind of hormones which is released by the pituitary gland. Pituitary gland, basically the most important kind of a hormone which is released by it is the GH. That is called as the growth hormone. Growth hormone, yes, it is responsible for the growth of the person. So if a large amount of a growth hormone will be released by pituitary gland, the person will be very heighted. Okay, and if a less amount, so that will cause the dwarfism in a person. Okay, so the growth hormone secretion occur by that of the pituitary gland. Not only this, student, but thyroid stimulating hormone, which we also call as TSH. This is also released by the pituitary gland. So thyroid stimulating hormone and growth hormone. Not only this, there are a lot of hormones that you will going to study in the higher section about the sexual hormones, especially like follicle stimulating hormone or luteinizing hormone. These hormones are also released by our pituitary gland. So we can say here that pituitary gland is very important since I have been releasing the very important hormones also. So we can write here it secretes thyroid stimulating hormones, which is also called as TSH. Okay, thyroid stimulating hormone called as TSH, which stimulates thyroid gland. Stimulates thyroid gland. Growth hormone called as GH that promote both increase in cell number and cell size. Increase in cell number and cell size. Okay, so growth hormone and that of a thyroid stimulating hormone. So the hormones released by pituitary, can influence by factor such as seasonal or emotional changes. Okay, so this is about the pituitary gland.